Who's ready for an adventure?
Videoing now. Ready to go.
Shade. Everybody
Coffee grinds stay at the bottom. Coffee pours out nicely.
Yes, please.
So I've got my portable in-shelter stove here. I'm just loading it up, getting it ready to get started. I've already put about a half dozen thumb diameter pieces, and they're all broken up into tiny lengths. So the big stuff is in there first. The stove is upside down right now. Now I'm loading some smaller kindling in on top of that. And I'm going to be getting smaller and smaller. I'm wearing my work gloves because I am working with metal edges on the wood stove here. I don't want to cut myself. So I'm going to get some tiny little stuff now. Little twigs. This is not entirely dry, so I'm hoping that it's going to work. We're just, it's been a cold, rainy morning so far. We're just hunkering down. Right now it's myself, my mother Diana, and my father Stephen working the camera. The bugs are finding us. So, along with generating a little bit of heat, oh, Roy's coming to join as well. Hey, buddy. Along with generating a bit of heat on this cool morning, looking to get a little bit of smoke to reduce the amount of insect presence. So, if I had some spruce, it would be ideal. I love the spruce for getting the fire started. Anyways, so I've got in here so far, I've got the biggest stuff on the bottom. It's getting smaller and smaller as we get close to the top. Now I'm going to grab some birch bark. Crumple that up and stuff it in there. I've made my my vents a little bit wider to allow more oxygen to enter the system. I had a hard time getting the fire started last time due to lack of oxygen. So we'll see if that helps at all. Now we turn it right back, right side up. Now the small stuff is on the bottom. So as it burns, the heat will travel upwards. Go ahead and see if this is going to work here. Now it will smoke quite a bit, which is, like I said, it's a good thing in this situation, get the bugs out. You need to be careful of the container, it does get pretty hot as well. But that's looking good so far. I think this should burn nicely. The added size in the vents really helps the oxygen get in there. And
once it's going, do you load it from the top or the bottom?
both. Got a little chimney hole here. I can just drop a couple bigger pieces in there, or I can load it in from the bottom. So we're gonna move this around. Don't mind the smoke. Get these friggin' mosquitoes out of here. Yeah, you better run. So there we have our portable shelter stove. Still burning away, hoping the kindling's gonna catch.
Will the stove itself become hot, like red hot or white hot? Will you be able to see it?
I didn't get it to be that hot last time, but it does get hot though. Got some of the kindling going now, and as long as the fire is able to work its way up, which it looks like it is doing slowly, then it should eventually get to the bigger stuff. That'll fall down once the kindling burns through. It's quite smoky right now. The wood is wet. It's been raining, as I said. So once that burns down, it'll all fall to the bottom. Get a nice bed of coal.
Excuse me.
And then that can be a sustained burn. So at this point we're just, it's working its way out. I think it's gonna work, but it's quite smoky right now. That's what I'm doing, I'm just trying to get the smoke out. And we have a north wind, it's important to note. North is at our back. You do need to be mindful of smoke inhalation in a situation like this. This is not something I would do in an enclosed tent. This is definitely an open shelter sort of idea. But the mosquitoes are a lot less than they were a couple minutes ago. I think this is going to work. It'll slowly burn its way down, or up rather. And the larger and larger fuel will be consumed.
Looks like the heavier stuff is starting to catch now.
Yeah.
And there is some heat coming off there.
Yeah. So it takes a few minutes to get going, and it'll take some troubleshooting when you first make it. I had to add vents, increase the size, just to get the right amount of oxygen. And the smoky fire is partly due to the wet wood and partly due to the low oxygen levels. Just trying to prevent so much fire from coming out of the hole there.
Your audience might want to know what that can was originally.
That was, this is a camp fuel can, which was left behind at an old moose blind that I found, which is, it's unfortunate to see people tossing their garbage out. There's really no excuse for it, because if you have the room to pack something like this in, then you have the room to pack it out. You leave this, it's never going to decompose. So it's nice to get out there in nature, whether you're camping, whether you're hunting, fishing, whatever you're doing. Absolutely get out there and enjoy it. Respect the land though, and understand that there are people who are going to be coming in after you. This will never ever ever decompose. So if you leave it there, it's there until someone else cleans it up for you. Take care of your own garbage. Don't make someone take care of it for you. Fortunately, this is something where I came along and I'm actually able to put it to use. But this is good. We've got our smoke, we've got our heat, and I'm going to go ahead and call this portable in-shelter stove a success. Unpleasant day so far. Cold, rain, wind this morning. Continued into the afternoon. Getting a bit of a break from the rain now, so we're all gonna head to shore, take a little walk, and then head down where the Beaver Creek flows into the lake. We've got a little bay that I'm hoping should be sheltered from the north, this north wind that we've got here, and we'll do a little fishing. See if we can catch some pike, some perch, bass, whatever's biting today. And for once we're going to be fishing just for fun. I'm sure we will keep any nice eater-sized fish, but if we don't catch anything, we're not going hungry tonight, and that is always a nice feeling. Just on a nice little family walk down this mushroom here. And this is interesting specimen, so I'll bring that home and see if I can figure out what it is. Finally made it out for a little bit of fishing. See if we can catch anything. Turned out to be an alright day. Not beautiful, but it's not raining. Still pretty cool for mid-July, but I'm almost starting to feel overdressed for having 3 layers and 2 hats. And that's progress. Start the day off with a nice juicy perch. Fish on the board. That one's got a good feeling. wasn't that one, it was this one. This one though. This one will catch me something. Just you wait and see. One more. That one right there. That's got to produce something for me. It appears I have subpar psychic skills. My cousin Rob and I currently working on these cow lily seed pods. We're cracking them open and getting all the seeds out. So these ones have had the better part of a week to dry in the sun. Get them out whenever I can. Hasn't been sunny every day though. So these are the first two that we're working on. Seem to have a decent seed yield per pod. Coming out fairly easily, which is always nice. So once we're done these two, I'll show you how many seeds we got out of it. And we'll keep working away and I'll show you how many, these 11 that are already dry, how many of those come up with. Got some hors d'oeuvres. So here are total seeds from 2 seed pods. We've got 9 more to go.
As we watched the bald eagle on its perch, a Cooper's hawk began to harass it.
No.
No.
There it is. Oh, I could. Oh, wow. Spruce. Go take up so much room. Hopefully won't when I'm done.
Spruce is good. Chop off all the branches, makes excellent kindling, and you cut up the trunk.
I don't know why you guys put your socks on the ground, too. They don't dry on the ground. Okay, I'm putting these shoes out there just in the air. Maybe dry it a little bit.
So today's tea of the day is clover strawberry tea. Both of these were gathered on the strawberry walk last week. We'll let that steep for 15 to 20 minutes and see how it is. So the tea has been steeping for about 20 minutes now. We're going to go ahead and give it a try, see if it's ready.
Brian, did I give you your stash?
Yeah.
Okay. The other stash I don't have, you haven't got are your zip ties, zip bags.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice, be steep longer, I imagine it'd be more flavorful, but it's It's a reasonably good one. Not super sweet like the just the clover is by itself. I prefer clover by itself, but it's a good tea, so I'll
This little
give that the thumbs up.
thing has
Not used to having two people in the canoe. I feel like I'm flying. Yeah. Especially with a wind, it's a lot tougher to solo a canoe. Really pushes the bow around. I sit where you're sitting and turn around the other way. So there's less of the canoe in front of me. It makes it easier to control. Exactly, yeah. So it keeps it better balanced and just easier to control in general. Alright, it's good there. Nice sunset. Yep. I think out loud a lot. So it'll be basically like I just plan to myself. So I'll say, okay, what do I need to do now? Gotta gather some fire. Oh, there's a big one. Look at that. Can use it for bait. Good, it got off. Don't have to take it off the hook. No, I'll plan out loud a lot. So it's what do I need to do now? Okay, priorities. I'm thirsty and I need food. Food's gonna take a while to cook, so I need to start the fire. Alright, gather some firewood. Alright, here we go. Get the firewood. What do I do when I get back to camp? Alright, so first thing you gotta do, start the fire, let that burn for a bit, and while it's burning I can purify water. Okay, here we go. So I got my firewood. I'll just talk out loud like that, plan things, go through the process. Helps me collect my thoughts. Nice to hear a human voice, even if it's your own as well. Yeah. Well, like, yeah, if I didn't have a canoe, if I didn't have a fishing rod, if I didn't have water purification, like that would be a very intense experience, and that would be a hard time to live this long. But like that's the sort of thing doing much shorter but more intense sessions. So you do like 1 week with a knife and some rope and that's it, like that sort of thing. But to do 2 months that long, you'd have to be really, really good, and I'm not at that level yet. Maybe someday, but not yet. And like I said, I see this as my big, extensive solo adventure.